Hi, and welcome to this video on using Engineering Village. I'm Kristen Adams, Science and Engineering Librarian at Miami University Libraries. Engineering Village has a few components to it that are relevant to different areas of study, and you can search these together or separately. In this video, I'll cover a basic search applicable to any portion of Engineering Village and how to look at the different filtering options you can use to refine your search. We'll also examine an article record and go over how to evaluate it. I'll also go over how to share and save resources with permalinks. And finally, as Engineering Village is just an indexing database and the full text is not stored here, I'll show you how to use the Find It button to gain full access to the PDFs. All right, let's get into it then. All right, so we are at the library homepage. The first place you can go to access the databases is the research guides. So we can see here we've got research guides for all of the different subjects. Engineering Village can be found on several of these and might be called something different. There's Engineering Village Compendex and Geobase, depending on which guide you're at. All right, back at the home page, the next button that you can click on is that Databases A to Z. This has a complete list of all of our databases, which you can search for by subject or alphabetically. I'm going to click on E and scroll down to Engineering Village. And there we have it there. All right, so Engineering Village is loaded up now. As I mentioned earlier, we've got a couple different choices of databases within Engineering Village. Compendex, which is for engineering, Geobase, which is for geology and geography. Novel is also for engineering, but is mostly reference materials like ebooks. So we're going to go ahead and do a search up at the top. We're going to do biomaterials, and we'll add another search field and do engineering in the second one. So up at the top it's set to all fields, but if you want to be specific about where that term shows up, you can do that. And here you can see we can do and or not. And we'll do a search. Okay, so here's our results page. We've got about 75,000 records, which is kind of a lot to choose from. You can scroll down and look at these. Okay, and to cut it down, we want to use that refine feature that's over at the side. So we've got different options here. Let's just say I want a journal article. You can click that, that'll limit it down a little bit, and we'll also do it by year. Say I just want something really current, I'll go with 2020. And then down at the bottom, there's the button, we'll do limit to. Okay, so that's a lot better. Now we're down to 4,000 records, which is much fewer to choose from, so that's a lot more focused, which is what we're looking for. All right, so let's scroll down and we'll choose one to click on. You can see we've got different titles here, some author information, and click on number 4. Right, so now we're in the article record. We've got the title, which we saw before. We also have the authors, the citation information, which is the journal and the page numbers and the year and things like that that the article's from. We also have the author affiliations, which I recommend you take a couple seconds to glance at just to make sure that there's nothing that looks really weird. For example, this one's about engineering biomaterials, so we wouldn't want to see something that doesn't really make sense, like meteorology would be a little weird. We also have the abstract, which is good to read. That's kind of like reading the back of the book before you read the whole thing. We've also got some different keywords down here, the controlled terms and uncontrolled terms. Those are just other words for keywords. And also down at the bottom, if there is funding, then they're required to tell you who they got their funding from. So that's also another thing to glance at. One more thing on this page that's really important is this little speech bubble icon up here. This is called the permalink, which is the link that you want to use to save it for yourself or share it with other people. You can also email the record to yourself or to other people. And that link works better than the one up at the top, which is tied to your session and will not work later. The last thing I want to point out on this page is the Find It button. Click that to find the full text. And when we do, we will get a screen that shows us which databases they are available in. It doesn't really matter which one of these you click on. If you have multiple choices, it'll all get you to the same place. So when we click on that, then we are presented with the new database where the article is housed. We've got a direct link to that, and the article comes up. You can click on the PDF button and open the full text there. And there we have it. Okay, well, that wraps it up. I hope you learned something. If you still have questions, please do reach out and ask a librarian for help. Thanks for watching.